So in this video, I'm going to talk about lookalike audiences. Just an overview of what we're going to be covering. We're going to talk about what exactly a lookalike audience is and why they are valuable in your campaigns. We're going to talk about how we build them. So I'll take you guys into the ads manager and actually build some out. And then I'm going to show you how we can use them in the inbound campaign. So you can actually use these for your local clients as well as your own marketing. Okay, so first off, what is a lookalike audience and why are they valuable? So a lookalike is a list of people that Facebook creates that are similar to a custom list that you give them. So basically an email list is a custom audience, a website traffic list, an engagement list. So we talked about custom audiences in another video. Any custom audience that you upload to Facebook, you can create a lookalike out of it if it's big enough. So something cool about this list is these are people that have similar interests, demographics, and behaviors to the list that you already gave Facebook. So it allows you to reach more people that are similar to people who have expressed interest in your business or in your client's business. So this is super powerful because if you have a list of 1,000 people that have purchased your product, if you create a lookalike of that list, those people are all going to have similar attributes of your purchasers. So it's probably going to be a super targeted list, and those people are probably also going to be interested in your offer. So it helps you with scaling campaigns, and it also helps you get a more targeted audience. Okay, so how we build them. So I'm actually going to hop into the ads manager and build one out, but a few things to note before you get to that point. Before you create a lookalike audience, you must have custom audiences built in the account. So before you try and create a lookalike, you need to have an email list uploaded, or you need to have a list of website traffic, or you need to have an audience created out of engagement so you can actually create the lookalike. We want at least 100 people in the seed audience. And the more people you have, the better. But I have seen them work with as little as 100 people in the audience. I've also seen them work with like slightly less people in the audience. But usually I start at around 100. It's okay to test smaller audiences and see if they work. Because as always with Facebook, you don't know unless you test. But yeah, try to aim for at least 100. And the more, the better. And as I kind of mentioned before, we can use them in inbound campaigns as well as local campaigns. So I'm going to hop over to the ad manager real quick. Okay, so to get to the audience section, you press ads manager up here. And then if you've been using this a lot, audiences might pop up here under frequently used. But if not, you go to all tools, and under assets, you're going to click on audiences. Okay. So as I said, you need to have a custom audience created. This is a custom audience created out of video views. So I'm just going to use it for this example. Okay, so I'm going to check the content video views, and I'm going to come to actions and press create lookalike. So over here, you're going to want to select the location. For most of you guys, you're probably going to be doing United States unless you have clients that are running international campaigns. And some of you might be doing local businesses, and for those, you obviously don't want the whole US, but once you use a lookalike at the ad set level, you can do targeting within and layer it with whatever zip code you want to use. So over here, you see audience size, and what's cool about lookalike audiences is you can create smaller ones, which are 2.1 million, and bigger ones, which in the case of the United States, it's 21.3 million, and those numbers are 1 to 10% of the total populations in the country you choose. And it says here with 1% being those who most closely match your source. And what that's trying to say is, okay, so you give Facebook a list of 1,000 people, and it goes and turns it into 2.1 people. That might be pretty accurate, you know, that with 1,000 people, there's a ton of data there. But if you give Facebook a list of 1,000 people and have it turn it into 21.3 million people, that's kind of a stretch, and a lot of times this one won't be as accurate. So sometimes I avoid using these until I have a lot of data, but at the same time, sometimes I'm surprised and I test stuff and it actually ends up working. So I always want to test it. So what we do is I'll usually create like a 1%, a 5%, and a 10%, and test them all. So what I usually do is I'll create a 1% one, I'll create a 5% one, and then I'll create a 10% one just so I can test them. So when you want to create it, you select what number you want it at, and then you just press create audience, and then it's there. Then do it again, create lookalike, type in United States, 5%, create audience, and then create lookalike, United States, 10%, create audience. So some people might start by only testing the 1%. Some people might start with the 5% or the 10%. It really depends on how much data you have and if you have the budget to test these things, because sometimes the 10% doesn't work and sometimes it actually ends up working pretty well, but you won't know until you test. So lastly, I'm going to talk about using lookalikes with inbound campaigns. So these are really, really valuable. They've helped us a lot with our inbound marketing for Nick's agency. So what we do is there's a few different lookalikes that we create. So we'll create a lookalike out of emails. So the email list that we've had is lists of current clients, lists of prospects, other people in the niche. So if you're buying a list or scraping a list, you can make a lookalike out of that on Facebook. And then we also create them out of different steps of the funnel. And the way you do that is by creating a custom audience using website traffic. So we create an audience out of hit landing page, hit video page, people that actually scheduled. And this is going to depend on what type of inbound funnel you decide to run. If you're running one that has an opt-in up front, you'll have that landing page. But if you're just sending traffic straight to the VSL, you might just have the video page. And the reason we can create them out of scheduled is because we use Acuity. And Acuity, you can put a pixel inside of it, and when someone schedules, it triggers a purchase. So one thing to note is sometimes this won't work well if you have marketers funnel hacking you, although testing, layering, targeting can help. So the more Nick's name has kind of gotten out there, there's a lot of marketers trying to get in his funnel. So we found that a lot of times when we use lookalikes, it'll just be a lot of marketers trying to hack him. So I'm going to hop over to the ad manager and just kind of show you this process in case you missed it in the custom audience video. So hypothetically, let's say the landing page is summerurzuki.com. I'm just going to say that to make it easy. We're going to go to create audience, custom audience, and we're going to press website traffic and then do people who visited specific web pages. And then I'm going to put this here. And when I'm creating an audience for the purpose of making a lookalike out of it, I always want to do 180 days because that's going to give me the most data. And like I said, the more people you have hitting it, the more accurate. So I'm going to make this hit landing page 180 days. Create audience. Then I'm going to select right here, go to actions, and press create lookalike audience. And then I'm going to type in United States again. And depending on what you want to do, you can create it out of 1, 5, 10, or all of the above. Well, I definitely recommend doing 1, but the other 2 are optional when you're first getting started. And then I have that lookalike created there. So you would do that with hit landing page, hit video page, and then for the scheduled, you would go to create audience, custom audience, and then you're going to press website traffic, but this one's going to be a little bit different. I don't have any purchase triggers on my Pixel because I don't have anything I'm selling on it right now or any schedules. But if you have that set up under from your events, you'll see a purchase event right here, and you'd want to select that and do 180 days and do scheduled 180 days. And then create the audience. And then you'd want to do the same process. Select it, create lookalike, United States, and press create. And then that is the lookalike for that. So one thing I mentioned was if you want to layer or exclude because of the whole, sometimes it won't work well if you have marketers funnel hacking you. Something that we've done, and I'll show you this at the ad set level, is we'll use a lookalike and Then we'll do layering inside of it. And this will depend on what kind of niche you're in. But let's say I want to do lookalike scheduled 180 days. There's two different options. You can layer things that you want included. So if you're targeting chiros, you can do chiropractor, whatever, all of that stuff. Or you could exclude people that you didn't want included. So people who like Russell Brunson, if you don't think your market likes Russell Brunson. And that way that can kind of knock out some of the marketers that would be in that lookalike audience from funnel hacking your funnel. And then another instance where layering in a lookalike audience would make sense is, say you're doing this for one of your local business clients and you have an email list of their customers, or you made a lookalike out of people that have hit their website or their landing page. When you create a lookalike audience, it has everyone in the United States. So you would want to change it to target where the business is. So you'd go to edit locations here. And instead of doing the whole United States, you could go by zip code. Or you could include the name of a city and do whatever, depending on the business, obviously you choose whatever radius makes the most sense. And that way it's only targeting people that are in the lookalike that are also in the area that you want to target. So yeah, lookalike audiences are very valuable. They're always some of my top performing audiences, so I definitely recommend using them. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to post in the members group and tag me and I'll get back to you.